Salutations, season finale viewers. Automatic here for Automatic Games. Thanks for joining me for Season 2, Episode 15 of our XCOM 2 series. In our previous installment, we used the Shadow Chamber to determine the location of an alien forge, and we were determined to prepare for that assault. And even now, we are continuing in our preparatory phase. More specifically, we need to expand our radio communications capabilities, and also we want to procure as much equipment as possible for our soldiers in the field. That way, when we do move on the facility, we are a bit prepared. After all, I think it's going to be a black site on steroids. And we'll probably kick off Season 3 by moving on that forge.
The outcome of this research can only further our advances, Commander.
Let's have a look, Dr. Ty.
The fact that this armored environmental suit is capable of functioning in combat well after the original wearer has expired is remarkable. I must consult with Shin for further study into this unusual behavior.
I view the Andromedon as an intimidating opponent indeed, but the autopsy yields proximity mines. That's definitely worthwhile. Next, we're going to get into the Berserker Queen autopsy.
Of my 3 test subjects, the Berserker Queen also represents the greatest leap towards the boundaries of what could be considered reasonable and ethical research. Even in wartime, I must consider the fact that by providing an already unstable alien being with equipment that may further its own capabilities, I risk crossing a line that can never be uncrossed.
Why, Dr. Valen? Why? I imagine the Berserker will yield us, more armor.
I fully expected to find that the aliens were conducting questionable experiments involving human captives at the black site we raided with the help of local resistance operatives. What we did find was something more reprehensible than I could have possibly imagined.
Sorry to cut you off, Tigan, but you talk too much, man. But whatever that autopsy yields us, we'll happily take. Okay, we, got a little bit of intel here. Good deal. Next, we're going to move for this cash out here. Oh man, okay, so Advent can now take poisonous rounds into the field. I'm sure we'll, feel the brunt of that.
I have made a number of interesting discoveries, Commander.
Let's have a look.
As Dr. Valen noted in her own report, it was irresponsible and borderline irrational for her to have pursued this research, knowing the incredible risks involved, not just to herself, but to what little of humanity as a whole remains.
And indeed, this autopsy grants us a suit of armor, which we'll happily take. We have to develop it in the forge. We're gonna go ahead and study Illyrium.
Valuable applications stemming from this technology. I'll have a report assembled as soon as the research is complete.
And Illyrium is more or less the fuel of the aliens. It's what powers their every single thing.
Priority message coming through, Commander. Putting it on screen now.
Thank you.
You have made considerable progress against the aliens over the past month, Commander. I hope that your ongoing efforts will only lead to further success.
Seems like a satisfactory report. We'll happily take it. In terms of events, no good indeed. They can make new recruits cost more. They can, wow, they can deploy reinforcements on every single mission. It's all bad, folks, it's all bad. But the good news is we've got a supply drop out there, so as soon as we're done scanning here,
Strategic resource
We'll set
located.
course for that supply drop. So we've procured some Illyrium crystals and some alien alloys from that cache in the American Southwest. Now we are going to
Avengers
set
on
course
course.
for South America. And to that supply drop where we will begin collecting supplies, of course. Blue screen protocol. Nice, that gives us an EMP grenade, excellent against enemy machinery. And also blue screen rounds, which does much the same, but is of course fired through a traditional firearm. Next up, why don't we do that rage suit? I'm kind of curious as to what all that entails.
Interesting choice. I'll send word as soon as we're finished, Commander.
I don't know who will step up to wear it, but we will soon find out. Because we will definitely use it in the field. It's not necessarily going to stand up to Van Dorn's uniform mandate. Okay, looks like Advent is moving on yet another resistance cell. So we will set course there.
Setting
Bravo
course for the
Squad is
Chilean
on
Control
deck to
District.
respond with force. Good old Bravo Squad is commanded as always by William Lee, codenamed Weasel, taking a flashbang and a nanomed kit. He is joined in the field by Joan Richards, codenamed J-Bone, bringing a plasma grenade and nanomed kits. Mark Jackson, codenamed Stonewall, bringing the spider suit, Shadowkeeper, and a battle scanner. Our newest recruit is Oliver DeNoble, codenamed Odd Noble, bringing a plasma grenade and the Skulljack. Otto Williams, codenamed Otto Mattak, bringing a mimic beacon and plasma grenade. And finally, Jared Williamson, codenamed Manzer, bringing a plasma grenade, nanomed kit, and the frost bomb. There you have it, Bravo Squad as it stands. Bravo, you may board when ready.
Sky Ranger deployed.
Menace, ready to deploy.
Begin your descent, Firebrand.
We just picked up an emergency signal from one of the resistance camps. The aliens are sweeping the whole area, taking out anyone they can find. We're moving in to put a stop to it and protect as many people as we can. Secure the site and neutralize all hostile contacts.
Meanwhile, Upload Studio has decided to work with me again, so I've gone back to it. I think the result will be an improvement in video quality, maybe not so much in audio quality. Nonetheless, I'm glad it's working once more. Well, putting my head back in the game, Bravo Squad is rearing in, ready to go. Bravo is boots on the ground. And Weasel will be reverting to his initial playbook, that is, keeping Bravo Squad closely knit, and they will advance as one, engaging the first thing that they come across and basically muscling their way through this mission. And indeed, we already have enemy assets on the grid. Weasel's going to take a shot at the Stun Lancer. Excellent. Nice way to kick things off. And the Stun Lancer dropped gear in the field. Okay. Weasel has asked the rest of his squad to move up to his position. They will either take a shot or go into Overwatch. As you can see, that Advent Captain, he bolted for cover. Who can blame him? I mean, that shot seemingly came out of nowhere and took out his Stun Lancer.
Let's do this!
These pricks are used to engaging civilians, one would assume.
Overwatch!
Not so keen on enemies that return fire. Okay, so far nobody's really got a clean shot, so indeed we are moving up and going into Overwatch. If that officer tries to maneuver, I would presume he's a dead man. His best option would be to chuck a plasma grenade up here. Let's hope that he doesn't do that, or hope that he has to maneuver for range in order to accomplish that, in which case, hopefully, we would open fire.
Overwatch. Got him on the run.
And indeed, he's moving. Wrong move, Advent. Captain, Manzer scores a hit. J-Bone scores a hit. That's all it's gonna take, folks. Well played, Bravo Squad. And so now Weasel wants everyone to move up to the edge of this cliff, where they can maintain oversight over the Resistance base here. And you know, going back to squad dynamics again, and I know this has been said before, this squad works well together. They have not taken any deaths in the field, and a lot of them probably attribute that to their squad leader, Weasel.
Confirmed.
The squad that plays well together works well together, and I've seen these characters just in passing in the lounge, you know, hamming it up, and I've seen them in the bar drinking it up. So yeah, they get on well. Oh damn, that's a chrysalid. Damn, oh, virtually everybody opened fire, but... Okay, Manzer, finish this thing. No good.
They've got eyes on me, not even close.
Come on, Otto. That was close. I'm gonna fall back on my knowledge of EU, enemy unknown, and say that those chrysalids are nightmarish. They were the stuff of nightmares. In that game, they would come in close, they would infect their target, turning it into a zombie, which was pretty much a zombified husk that doubled as a cocoon for another chrysalid. So your teammate or a civilian would be maneuvering like a zombie until finally a few rounds later it would collapse and burst open, and out would come another chrysalid. It was just nasty stuff, folks. I don't know if they operate in the same fashion. It's been 2 decades. But the fear is they do. And so we don't want them to get close. That civilian down below reveals herself to, in truth, be a faceless. Nonetheless, many of Bravo are in Overwatch, so we're opening fire. And Manzer scores a kill.
You can't handle me.
Damn, I forgot about the gear. It's probably something juicy considering we lost it. That would typically be the case. If we find it, not so much. If we lose it, it was probably the best gear the game could afford us.
Let's do this.
Manzer's gonna move up to this tree and he spots 3 more chrysalids.
These chrysalids seem a little smaller than I was.
Oh man, and he is surrounded by them. And quite obviously, Bravo Squad's going to do everything within their power to prevent some horror from unfolding. The result of Manzer being surrounded by those monsters. J-Bone will take a shot. She scores a hit, does decent damage. Still have 3 chrysalids on the grid though. Manzer will attempt to defend himself. And even at point-blank range, he scores a hit, which isn't the easiest thing to do with those heavy machine guns or sniper rifles, but nonetheless he did it. Jackson lines up. Bullseye. That leaves 2 chrysalids on the grid.
Who's keeping score?
One of which is wounded, of course. Let's see. Jackson can still move, so he'll do that, sure. As to Otto. Yeah, he's gonna get up close and personal with one of these. Hopefully finish this one off. And not so much. He does score a hit, but it's just not quite enough. DeNoble will fire at the same target. And we have another chrysalid down. That leaves 1 on the grid. So Weasel will do much like Otto did. He'll come in close. And it's effective. Unfortunately, the chrysalid is still on its feet. It's on fire, too, the result of using these fusion blades. What will the chrysalid do now? It can strike out at Weasel or Manzer very easily. It moves. It moves again. So given the choice of fight or flight, it chose neither, which is odd. Very odd.
Let's do this.
Okay, let's have DeNoble take a shot. Perhaps the segue there led me to that decision. Odd. Anyways, he puts down the last chrysalid. Altogether, excellent development.
Overwatch.
I don't want to get hung up on it, but yeah, the chrysalid not choosing to fight or flee. It does. It smacks of incompetence. But you know, I'm not going to lament mistakes made by the AI, unless of course they were overwhelming, which has not necessarily been the case thus far in our campaign. So yeah, we'll just say chrysalids are stupid. I mean, that's what it boils down to. Okay, so we're gonna drop down to ground level and take up positions. Ultimately, we're gonna be moving in towards this structure,
Confirmed.
with the full anticipation of encountering even more chrysalids.
Finally.
To that end, some of us will be going into Overwatch, others may reload. Certainly this is the advice of Weasel.
Moving to position.
As to Otto, he's gonna tell the civilian to get the hell out of here. Get aboard the Sky Ranger.
Ship. Moving to Overwatch.
DeNoble will move up to the cliff's edge. And he'll reload.
Rock and roll.
As to Weasel, he's gonna drop down.
I can handle that.
Move down here by J-Bone. And he will reload as well.
To the ground.
There's another chrysalid. Apparently now they can burrow in the ground. That is not something I saw them do 20 years ago. Otto opens fire. Just barely nicked the thing. Damn, okay, we've got civilian casualties. J-Bone strikes the chrysalid that killed that civilian. And so one has to wonder, will that civilian rise up as a zombie? Manzer opens fire. It's no joy.
Adjusting sights.
Okay, so we've got 2 chrysalids on the grid. Is that accurate? Oh, wait, that's, Anyways, Manzer's gonna fire at the chrysalid. And this time it's a hit. Nice. And you can see the little blue diamond on the chrysalid. That's the effect of holo targeting. It gives a bonus to subsequent attacks. which J-Bone takes advantage of and kills the chrysalid. That leaves one chrysalid on the grid, and I don't know what that is. It's, you know what it is? It's the corpse of the civilian, who's apparently just bloated up in this glowing, I don't know, amorphous mess.
You know that was good.
Okay, so the grid is clear of chrysalids,
Heading out.
and that glowing thing, that's a cocoon. That's what it is. It's a cocoon. So, you know, similar results of a chrysalid attack, except we're kind of taking out the zombie Walking Dead aspect of it. Just kind of simplified into the humans becoming a cocoon.
Got it covered.
And the cocoon births a chrysalid, which is down as soon as it's up.
Enemy down.
And so, yeah, I guess the new chrysalids are a lot weaker, which certainly makes sense. You know, we'll take whatever advantage we can get. Now it's a question of, do we destroy this cocoon? Because just by nature of it remaining on the grid leads one to believe that it will spawn additional chrysalids. So there's another marked difference. Speaking of Mark, Jackson's going to open fire. Does good damage. So that cocoon is barely hanging on by a thread. Let's have Otto open fire. And he destroys the cocoon.
Hostile target down. Could use some ammo over here.
So what do we know about these chrysalids at this point? They can obviously burrow into the ground.
I'm on it.
As far as we can tell, they do not turn their victims into the Walking Dead. Rather, their victims collapse and become a cocoon. A cocoon capable of carrying more than one baby chrysalid. At this point, Bravo Squad is going to turn their attention on that structure. They will move over to the windows, catch a glimpse inside, and shortly they will initiate infiltration. Along the way, they're going to shepherd as many civilians as possible to salvation. In fact, J-Bone is sending back 2 at once here. Nice.
Overwatch.
But we can only anticipate that there are more chrysalids inside, and perhaps a faceless as well. We have to be on guard for that.
Tired of waiting around.
Now, as to the chrysalids, that is, though my experience with them is rather limited. In fact, you just watched my
On your order.
full extent of experience with them. They seem to be, well, they don't seem to be health heavy. You know, even the adults you can take down in a few hits. Certainly the newly spawned you can perform a one-hit kill on. But the potential remains that they could swarm you. And if they get that lucky bite, boy, the result would be disastrous. And we want to do everything in our power to avoid that, so we're gonna move cautiously, maintain overwatch, and stay pretty tight. Having said that, I think we might have Otto diverge from the group. If he does so,
Covering now.
he'll go into cover, yeah. He'll initiate concealment, and he'll move up the right side of this building, peering into these windows to see what lies ahead. And in fact, he may not even go it alone. Weasel is capable of doing the same thing. That is to say, re-establishing concealment.
Come get some.
And so, yeah, let's have him do that, and he'll go with Otto. They're not going to put a whole heck of a lot of distance between themselves and the remainder of Bravo Squad,
Got it covered.
but this is just our way of finding out what's up ahead. And there is some movement up there. Okay, we're going to go ahead and make entry. We will start with Manzer. He'll head inside and go into Overwatch. J-Bone will move in next. Also going into Overwatch.
Come get some.
As to... well, let's see. Yeah, we'll have Otto move up.
Moving to designated position.
Peek inside this window.
Roger. I've got my eyes on.
And he doesn't see anything. DeNoble will move in. Let's see. Let's move him behind. Good cover here.
Orders confirmed. On the move.
And Overwatch.
On Overwatch.
As to Jackson, he'll move up a little further. I want him to find cover. Although with chrysalids, that's not really an issue. And he'll go into Overwatch. Weasel will move up close to Otto. I want to keep them close together. That way if a chrysalid comes out and spots them, they'll both get an Overwatch shot on it. Yeah, there is something ahead, and neither Otto or Weasel see it yet. But you know what? Jackson's got that battle scanner. I don't know. He could move up and free this civilian, but I'm thinking, yeah, he's going to toss the battle scanner. I don't know if that'll reveal any chrysalids that are, burrowed underground, but... oh my god, what it did reveal. The Archon King. And I'm glad Jackson didn't go rescue that civilian, because that's another faceless. And clearly the scanner just goes ahead and forces the transformation. Oh, wow. So the Archon King doesn't know we're here yet. Ah, man. Oh, let's see. We want to take down that faceless without drawing any attention from the Archon King.
Moving to Overwatch.
Faceless is definitely going to move.
On my way.
But you know what? I don't want to risk everybody going into Overwatch, so... yeah, we're going to have J-Bone open fire. She, takes a little bite out of that thing's health. We'll have DeNoble move up.
Heading there now.
And, well, that ship has sailed. We've got its attention.
This is the shot we've been waiting for. Take that thing down before it has a chance to run.
This is not the opportunity we've been waiting for. This is the moment we've been dreading. Oh, damn. Gotta take out that faceless. Yeah, Jackson's gonna use lightning hands, because it's a free move. That won't give the damn it. I was hoping that would put down the faceless. It didn't. He's gonna use, he's gonna use his ability that puts him into concealment here. That way he can still maneuver without triggering the Archon King's ruler reactions. And he gets another move. I guess he'll move outside, because if he were spotted,
Good copy.
that would kind of defeat the purpose of going into concealment now, wouldn't it? As to Otto, no, he's going into Overwatch. DeNoble, yeah, Overwatch. Damn, okay. That is not good. Oh, that's really bad. Manzer was just severely wounded. Hit by the Archon King. Here comes the normal Archon. DeNoble opens up, but it's a miss. Fortunately, that thing just moved twice. If it had chose to attack Manzer, and if Manzer suffers the slightest wound, he's dead. Manzer needs to be healed, but you know what? He's going to attempt to buy Bravo Squad a little bit of time by deploying the Frost Bomb, with the hopes of freezing this thing for a little while. That'll afford us some breathing room. So eat shit, you son of a bitch. What the hell? He's only frozen for one action? Okay. Well, J-Bone, she has to heal Manzer. I mean, there's no other move.
Healer mode!
Had I known that it would only freeze the Archon King for one action, I wouldn't have bothered. I mean, I was hoping we'd at least freeze him for 3 actions. But yeah, we know now that the Frost Bomb is all but useless against that thing. Okay, so Otto's gonna get exceedingly brave, and he's gonna go inside here and introduce the king to his fusion blade. And I think that was a hit.
Our target, minimal damage.
Yep.
It's trying to grab one of our people. Don't let it take him.
What? It's got Otto, and it just flew into the air with him. Okay, Jackson. He's got the grappling hook, and he's not putting up with this crap. So he will use that free grapple to get up onto the roof, and then he will attack. The hope is that the Archon King's grip is much like the Viper's binding, that if it suffers damage, it will drop its victim. So let's find out. Nice, okay, he did drop Otto. Did Otto sustain injury from the fall? No, he looks to be okay. And Jackson certainly relishes doing some damage to that Archon King. I mean, he's still fuming over the fate of Reaper. That was the last time that we met the king. The king killed Christian Arnold, who Jackson was training, so Jackson's gonna take another shot. He could have chosen to get off this roof, but the man is probably enraged by the sight of the king. And the Archon King's armor is just damn near impenetrable, so Jackson didn't do a hell of a lot of damage. What's he doing now? Oh, it's called upon that orbital-like strike, which we have not yet seen the effects of, but I'm afraid we're about to. J-Bone's gonna go into Overwatch. I'd want to move Jackson, but we can't. He's already moved.
Need some help. Need a medkit here.
Oh man, no. Is he okay, he's just unconscious, but
Evac! We need emergency evac!
Jackson is out of the fight. DeNoble has gone into a panic. J-Bone's reaction fire is triggered, and she scores a hit. But again, that thing's armor is just too damn tough. DeNoble opens up in his panic. He misses. Well, hell. You know, Weasel is impressed by the fact that the Archon King continues to burn, the result of being hit by a fusion blade, so Weasel is going to attempt to replicate those results. But he fails to connect.
Not good.
Damn. Well, the upside is the king continues to burn. Every act. Wait, it just took J-Bone up into the air. This other Archon comes in close, swings at, and hits Weasel, inflicting serious injury. Okay, somebody's got to get J-Bone down. You know, seeing as she just recently healed Manzer, he feels that he owes her a debt of gratitude. So he will take aim, and no. Yeah, he doesn't like the odds there. As to Otto, he's got a thing for J-Bone, but there's nothing he can do. So it falls on Weasel, seeing as Jackson's out of the fight, and DeNoble is still panicked. Don't like these odds either, but here we go. And it worked, and it shredded half of the Archon King's armor. So J-Bone is back in the fight. And you know, she's gonna go ahead and heal Weasel, seeing as he did just save her.
Give him a heal.
And seeing as the Archon King suffers burning damage every turn, for every action, I wonder if he would automatically release his victim. Anyways, yeah, we're gonna have Otto come in, and he's gonna swing that fusion blade at the king again, hopefully adding to that burning damage. And it's a hit. Good deal.
Armor still holding.
The king swings back and hits Otto. Just another of many injuries for Bravo Squad. Okay, Manzer. I know you're point blank, but you can do this. Yep, shredded the rest of that thing's armor and did a little damage to boot. Damn, okay, the Archon King has just taken Manzer up into the air. And this other Archon's gonna get to move next, and he is certainly going to kill one of us on the ground, should he hit us. So yeah, J-Bone's gonna fire at him. We are banking on the idea that that burning damage will compel the Archon King to drop Manzer. And there's the damage. And there's the drop. Unfortunately, the Archon down there among us is still in the fight. What's the king doing now? He's trying to effect his exit.
One of those rifts. Stop it.
No, we're not gonna stop it. If we could hold the door for it, we would. Okay, the Archon swings at Weasel, and I gotta say, Weasel was lucky. It's a miss. So yes, by all means, the Archon King can leave. No one in Bravo's squad will express disappointment at the King's departure, that's for certain. As DeNoble, he could have taken a shot at the Archon, but he will instead choose to go into Overwatch in anticipation of the King crossing his path to make its escape. Or not. Oh well. Let's see. Manzer is gonna fire at this Archon. It's a hit. He's getting good at that point blank stuff.
It's still up.
And, let's see. Yeah, let's have J-Bone fire. And she puts the Archon down. Here's hoping that that is the last enemy element on the grid.
Menace 1-5, status confirmed. We're not
And it
picking up
is.
any additional contacts. The AO is clear.
Whew.
Status confirmed. Mission accomplished.
Yeah, that was interesting. I mean, that was hectic. That was definitely chaotic, but we did take away some valuable lessons. We learned a little bit about the chrysalids, although I imagine they will teach us more of their dastardly maneuvers in the future. We also learned that while it is healthy to fear the Archon King, there are some measures we can take. For one, when it calls on that death from above, the only one affected by it was Stonewall, seeing as he was in an exposed position up on a rooftop. Everyone else was indoors, and they were spared from its effects. So, fight the Archon King indoors. We also learned that the Frost Bomb isn't as effective against the Archon King as it is against Serpentor or the Berserker Mama. And we also learned that you want to catch that thing on fire. Yes, you do. Because that residual damage more or less negates its attack, where it pulls somebody up into the air and then does God knows what to them. We didn't find out, fortunately. we did suffer some injury. I don't know how J-Bone and DeNoble got out of there without any bumps or scrapes. As to promotions, Weasel gets to choose between Implacable and Bladestorm. He's gone with Bladestorm. And, let's see, who's next? J-Bone. She has a choice between Covering Fire, interesting, and Threat Assessment. Threat Assessment is a buff for her allies. She's going to go with that. She is, altogether, a healer, and now she's also a buffer. If that's a word. Next up is Jackson. He gets to choose between Kill Zone and Face Off. He is going with Face Off. That grants him a pistol shot against every opponent within eyesight. So yeah, he will use that. And finally, DeNoble, who has unlocked Hollow Targeting. That's a good deal. Hell yeah, he'll take it. And he's also going to choose Combat Protocol. After all, in terms of his skill tree, he's going to go down the path of a hacker. So there you have it. Folks, that mission started out smooth enough, but it got hectic fast. And in terms of the corpses we brought back, the most notable is that of the chrysalid. Something that Dr. Ty is going to be able to bust open and have a look at. And I'm kind of inclined to say that as he does so, he's going to look over his shoulders. He's probably going to take a little bite.
Oh, Commander.
Is that wrong of me to suppose that he engages in that? That he's like, I wonder what this tastes like. Maybe not. Maybe it's just me that would think that. Watch, it would poison him and turn him into a zombie with a chrysalid inside. Anyhow, to the geoscape. You know, I do think the material of this season finale was worthwhile. Definitely worthy of a season finale. We are going to move on, continue a little bit further. I know usually after a mission I abruptly cease the episode, but this is the end of Season 2. So we're going to conclude this supply collection. And there's a couple more things I want to knock out before we conclude the episode. Namely, I want to get us to the point where we're just about to go into the Forge. So we're going to gather up what we can. We're going to set course out here to the American Southwest and collect these materials. Actually, you know what? Scratch that. How long of a scan is this? You know, yeah, it's too long because I do not want to have another mission pop up. No, I really don't. So instead we're going to go to the black market and we'll just buy some supplies. And the reason I want to get some supplies is because I think we're going to need them. There's some gear that we're going to want to use in the field. And obviously it's going to be Charlie Squad that kicks off Season 3. And I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if it'll be our final season or not. I guess we'll find out. Time will tell. But at this juncture, we're going to sail out to North Africa. No, actually we're not. We have to go below deck and upgrade our communications center. That'll give us the capability to make contact with the resistance cell in North Africa. So we definitely have to knock that out of the way. And okay. That said, let's head on out there.
Commander, we've utilized.
And I sincerely hope that nothing else crops up in the meantime.
Until we upgrade our system.
Because honestly, I feel like that would be a mere distraction. So here we go. It's a 5-day scan. Luck be a lady. Oh, excellent. The rage suit is completed. I hazard to guess we're going to want to take that on our next mission.
Do not think I could have predicted this outcome, though it is intriguing.
And so too is our research on Illyrium. That powers the Advent war machine. So we've unlocked an Illyrium conduit. That's basically a power plant. We're going to get into psionics next.
I assumed you'd make that research a priority, Commander. I'll notify you as
Because
soon as
why the
report's
hell
available.
not? It just feels right, folks.
While most of my involvement in the chip
All right, Richard. Sorry. I mean, as you can see, yeah, I'm not really sticking around to listen to Dr. Tigan a whole heck of a lot anymore. Perhaps we should pay Lily Shen more deference. You know, when I purchase recently developed equipment from her, she talks a lot like Tigan does. You know, when you leave her screen, but I never show that in my videos anyways. I just kind of secretly buy this stuff, and you see our troops take it into the field. So maybe I'll showcase a little more of hers. Anyways, here we are in North Africa, and let us see what our reception's like. For white folks. Seriously?
We've made initial contact with the Resistance operatives working in this area, Commander. They're going to show us how to get into the Alien Forge facility.
I mean, I hate that my attention immediately goes to race, but it looks like we landed somewhere near Monrovia. And the welcoming party is for white folks? Oh well, I'll just get over my feigned outrage and conclude the second season there. On that note, no, there has to be another note to conclude it on.
Shen managed to pull a set of encoded coordinates from the vial we recovered at the alien black site, and it looks like we're headed towards another as of yet unidentified facility. There are a bunch of theories floating around as to what we'll find, but at this point I'm not ready to commit to anything until I see for myself.
And thank you, Central, for saving me. I say there has to be something else to end it on, and he just chimes right in, being more eloquent than I could ever be. Anyhow, folks, yeah, that does it. What a season it's been. We've definitely taken some, we've seen some deaths, we've seen some successes, and it's all led up to the Forge. We've also combated some really nasty aliens, and we've overcome them for the most part, although the Archon King is still out there. Hey folks, this is Automatic for Automatic Games. I do hope you come and join me for Season 3, which is just around the bend. As usual, if you like this, and if you are subscribed, I will talk to you soon, friends. Thanks for watching.